Leon's Gunners Collective. Back at it, you already know. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. And another one. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Like a mum. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Like a mum. Smack at it. Bye-ya. Bye-ya. Bye. Orderly, as you can tell by that thumbnail right there, we're about to get into it in a menudo style in a direct fashion. I'm a thugger around this motherfucker. I'm a thugger. Well, you're going to be around that motherfucker for a minute because your homeboy done told on you. Did he or didn't he? Shall he or shan't he? That's the question that everybody's asking. A lot of people are asking me, hey, Gun, do you think Gunna told? Well, first, hell no, I didn't tell, right? Not you, puto. I'm talking about the Gunna. I'm the Gunna. Okay, YSL rapper. Okay, all right. To what degree of telling? We're about to find out. Everybody's asking. That's the $1 million question. Did he or didn't he? Well, let me give you my perspective on the situation. I've never faced a RICO act. Hey, look, I don't even like homeboy's name RICO. Straight up. I try to stay as far away from that as possible. I don't like to deal with the feds because when you're dealing with the federal government, you're going to get more than a food stamp. Okay, you're going to get definitely more than a food stamp. And individuals that usually have RICO cases, when they come to get them, they got them. You know, we all know that. Notoriously, if the feds come a knocking, the boat's about to get to rocking. Guard, help me out here, right? Well, it seems like Gunna from YSL, the rapper, decided that if for no other reason, he should cut a deal. To what degree of deal and to what that deal entails, one never knows until they lay their eyes on paperwork. See, paperwork is all that beachy matters. I've said it a long time ago. Fill me up with a letter a long time ago. When it comes to the telling situations, when it comes to working out deals, plots and plans and intricate things of that nature, that's all in the PW. It's all going to be in the paperwork, whether he's become a confidential informant or he's just straight up going to testify to get his ass up out the sling. That's up to him, his lawyer, and the paperwork. It's going to say it. Now, I understand that Young Thug and the YSL rappers, man, got caught up a while back. They've been sitting down. You know, federal detention, sitting down, facing this RICO, man. It doesn't look pretty. Okay, it looks pretty ugly. Now, at the same time, when individuals are faced with this insurmountable amount of time, they're going to start wondering and contemplating their life. You know, what led up to this point? Man, I was just trying to be a rapper. Give me some of them fake ass gold chains, right? And then at the end of the day, when that lawyer sits down, looks him square in the eye and says, hey, you need to save yourself. You need to get about this situation. This Vato wears dresses anyways. Who gives a fuck, right? He says, yeah, you're right. You know what I mean? Lifestyle. You know what I mean? He wants to live his lifestyle and doesn't want to live Young Thugger's lifestyle. See, but at one point, they were all living that lifestyle together. You know, dresses and gold chains and dollar bills, oh my. And everything was fine and dandy. See, everything's good when it's good in the hood. But when it ain't, it gets ugly. Okay, now in this situation, the other day, Gunna, the rapper, not to get misconstrued with Gunner, right? Because I'm stunner around this motherfucker, right? That individual decided to take a plea bargain. Now, it could be a righteous plea. I know it's the Alfred plea. It could be a righteous plea where he said, you know what? Look, I'm going to admit guilt. I'm guilty of this, but I ain't guilty of that. And somewhere along the lines, they realized, hey, they had him, but he's really inconsequential to what they're trying to do. You know, they usually have targets. There's individuals that they target. This one right here, we got you by the pinky toe. You're not going nowhere, sister. Say that with your motherfucking chest, sister. Right? You're not going nowhere. And that's their target. That's who they're going after. Now, they'll get a whole bunch of riffraff around them. They'll get a whole bunch of gente around them, hoping that somebody will spill the pork and beans. Somebody will give up the ghost. Someone will point their fingers in his direction, right? Is this the case? Did Gunna do this shit? Did he tell? Did he 6ix9ine to the dick ride to the wabba gonna let you? I don't know. To be honest with you, I don't know. But it looks mighty T.I.-ish, right? When I say T.I.-ish, I mean the type of guys that beat federal cases all the time. It's weird. I don't know how it happens. Never seen it happen before. I know if he was Mexican, he would have no chance. He'd be doing 86 months right now in long poke. That's just the way it is, right? But trip out on this. This individual took a plea bargain, and according to him and what him and his lawyer put out there, because it's mighty fishy that he would put out there a statement saying, I didn't tell. I didn't testify. Look, Holmes, if you didn't tell, you didn't testify, you ain't got to say it to the world. You don't got to say it with your chest to the world. You just do. You just push. Hey, I'm out, Holmes. You told, man, fuck what you're talking about, bro. I'm out. I'm going to Carl Jr. I'll have me the double around this motherfucker. The double Western, right? That's in and out. But he was in. Now he's out. Bang, bang. Now, just from my perspective, just from my intuition, from knowing a jail prison and knowing the way it works. Now, I've never been in federal prison. I'm not going to sit here in front and act like I have. So I know it's a little bit different. There's rules and regulations that are definitely different from the state. But prison is prison. Jail is jail. Usually when you're fighting a court case, I mean, it's an ugly situation like a RICO where you're facing 25 years plus all day, every day. You're not going to get too much action. You're not going to get too much action unless you give the district attorney some action. You understand where I'm coming from? They don't just hand out 500 hours of community service. They don't just hand out dates like, hey, trip out. So, you know what? We thought it over. We thought me and the feds, we thought it over. And we said, you know what? Fuck it. If for no other reason, we're going to let you out. Here, go rake some leaves for fucking 556 hours and you'll be all right. You know, but with Young Thug, we need him and every dress that he's worn in court tomorrow, right? I'm pretty sure, just from my perspective, without paperwork, because I don't like to put anything on anyone's plato and call him a snitch and a rat and a punk and a this and a that, not because that ain't what it is, man. You know, that definitely ain't what it is. That definitely ain't my stilo. But I will say this, it looks mighty tuna-ish. It looks like a tuna taco. It looks fishy, poochy, right? It stinks. It smells like Heathcliff when he's wet outside in the alley. It's not good. You know, and everyone, of course, is going to look at this man. Why are you out? Why Young Thug sitting down like a motherfucker, right? Why is he posted up like a thumbtack? Why can't this guy even get a bail reduction? What the hell is happening with this individual? Yet you're out here raking leaves at an old folks home doing community service. Don't seem right, does it? Okay, this is the scenario I think played out. Okay, and I'm just saying this from the outside looking in. I'm definitely not saying he told. Okay, I don't know if he's a rata or not. And it doesn't matter, man. At the end of the day, he chose to do in his life what he chose to do. And ain't no one going to do a damn thing about it. You know what I mean? Shit, it took him fucking 469 years to get a hold of Alpo. Right? 6ix9ine's over there in fucking Beirut right now getting a fucking mamon for some Egyptian lover. You know, man or woman, I can't call it. You know, she would the grill. He does. Fairy does. Now, trip out. Pronouns. This individual, Gunna, was part of this group, YSL, right? I always thought it was just a fucking rap group. You know, there's a lot of different groups that are formulated. They got, you know, several different rappers that are involved. But according to the feds, man, these guys were doing a lot more than just rapping. They were out there in the mix, okay? To what degree of what they were doing, we don't know. It's none of our business. It will all come out in court. But they were definitely doing more than just rapping. Okay, they closed in on him, got him, hit him with the RICO Act. And they don't just fucking come get you. Hey, look, hey, guess what? Them guys fucking are over there stealing candy bars and 7-Ups. And then they go get you. No, they watch you for a while. They definitely had confidential informants. They definitely knew exactly what these individuals, what type of cookie jar they had their hand in. They knew if they were getting the oatmeal or the raisin or the peanut butter cookie. They knew exactly what these guys were doing, and that's why they came a knocking. Don't bother locking. They're just going to kick it in. And they arrested these several individuals. Now, we all knew as consumers of entertainment, we all knew as fans of music, we all knew of just looking at this case, anyone who's been incarcerated knows that eventually someone was going to fucking tell. That's just how it is, man. You know, you arrest 10 guys, maybe 8 of them stay solid, F that, maybe half and half, maybe 2 or 3. The rest, they ain't trying to do all day. They ain't trying to do 25 fucking years. Are you kidding me, sir? Right? I ain't trying to do 25 years, man. That's a whole long time. How long is that? Oh, sir, that's 25 years. Exactly. Right? They ain't trying to do 25 years. So the $1 million question is, did Gunna tell? Is he willing to testify against this individual? Without seeing paperwork and without knowing, I still would say I believe so. I believe so. I believe the feds are not just going to let this guy out walking them streets without some type of get backs. They're going to go ahead and need that. You know, scratch my back and I'll scratch your balls is how they play. You know, they're not going to just let you take a deal and get out, man, when you're facing a RICO. Okay, let me tell you guys what RICO means. You know, what RICO means is you're done. Okay, I know it has a real meaning, and we're not going to get into the racketeering and all that. I know what it means, right? But what it means is you're done, puto. Get out of here. Strike 3, you're out, right? They're going to strike him out. Now, they're basically focusing this whole case on Young Thug and several other individuals around him, but he seems to be the main culprit just because of his notoriety and his fame. When you're the famous one, everyone's going to talk about you. I'm sure there's a lot more of his co-defendants, a lot more people that were doing more than he was, but he was the face of this group. Now, of course, after seeing the statement that Gunna made, which he was like, oh, I ain't never told on no one, I ain't said nothing, I ain't did nothing. Well, man, you sure trying to prove it to yourself, right? He wasn't telling us, he was telling himself. He thought maybe releasing that statement that he ain't told on no one would diffuse individuals thinking that he did, but it ain't never gonna stop. Shit, you could be the most righteous motherfucker, didn't say nothing, teeth on muzzle, lock. Hey, people there, your whole court case, they got every transcript and they still think your ass told. You know what I mean? That's just how it is. Look at motherfucking Charleston White. He still thinks T.I. told. I think he did too, but that's just me. So this individual takes a plea where he admits guilt but doesn't admit guilt. Do I think he told on Young Thug and the rest of his camaradas? I believe so. I believe he wouldn't have got this deal without some type of telling. Now, he says, I didn't testify against no one. Of course not. Their trial hasn't started yet, puta. You know what I mean? Of course you haven't testified. Not yet. Not quite yet. Will this individual testify against the other? I believe so. You know, I believe right now he's just trying to stretch out this image as long as he can. You know, but really, what happens? What's going to happen, man? Eventually, it's all going to come out. The cream rises to the top. Oh, yeah. Macho man. The cream's going to rise to the top. And when the cream rises to the top, everyone's going to see his faults, his flaws, what he chose to do. Now, I don't fault someone who told, man. Nobody knows why, the reason why they do what they do. There's a lot of different reasons for grown men to do what they do. Now, of course, in this game that we live in this world that we live in the gang underworld or in certain circles, man, and just as a man, you're always told, don't tell, don't snitch, right? But you have never faced 90 fucking years. You have never faced 84 and a half years. You have never faced 560 hours of community service, right? So you don't know what you would do at that given time. You know, if they tell you you're never going to see your old lady again, but the homeboy Rico is, pants on la tira, no pun intended, and the homeboy fucking Simon is, hey, wait, sounds good. I'm just working with a 6, right? You get kind of upset because, you know, everyone's going to be enjoying the pan and you ain't going to get no pan dulce. That's just what it is, right? Shit, the homeboys are fucking, they got jewel hanging out like, hey, homie, don't trip, I'm going to write you, right? Looking at your old lady's nalga. That's how it is. And Walter's like, no, fuck that. It was younger thugger, right? So I got to get out and give me some of that. Shit, the homeboy Simon, he's over there like, fuck it, I'm going to give her the whole 6, nothing but the 6, so help her God, right? Individuals have different reasons why they do what they does, cuz. And at the end of the day, that's just what it is. Now, what if, you know, what's going to happen? And everyone's asking, hey, do you think you told? Okay, yeah, I do. Personally, without seeing paperwork and knowing the law, I think you did. Okay, there it is there. There's my $1 million question and $1 million answer. Now what happens now? What happens now is say he testifies against his people, say he gives up the ghost, say he said, no, them motherfuckers right there while he's eating the Oreo cookie. It ain't going to change nothing. Other than his boys are going to get incarcerated, they're going to get locked up, to which they already are. They're going to get stretched. And will this guy be accepted back in the hip hop community? Will he be accepted in his neighborhood? Will he be accepted in this underworld to which we live in, to which I'm trying to get the fuck up out of? One never knows, does one? I mean, like I said, 6ix9ine right now is in Beirut getting a bomb-ass mamon, like I said, from a chick wearing a fucking Mr. Capone hat backwards. I don't know. I just know that in this world that we live in now, things are ass backwards. See, back in the days, he would have ended up in a ditch and bad things would have happened to him. No Vaseline, just a match and a little bit of gasoline. Light him up, burn him up, flame on. To them Versace glasses, it's gone, right? Gunna, you would have been done. But see, nowadays things have changed. Right now, it doesn't matter as long as you're transparent. As long as you let everyone know, hey, trip out. Yeah, I told, so what? Fuck it, hey, what you gonna do, Wesley? Valters are like, yeah, you're right, I ain't trying to do nothing. Exactly, you ain't trying to do nothing. Ain't no one trying to do nothing, especially for a guy like Young Thug. Who the fuck is he and why does he count? If he got told on by his homeboys, you know what people are going to say? Well, that's shit. He should have picked better homeboys. You know, meanwhile, their homeboys over there getting a mamon from their old lady. You know what I mean? That's just the way the world works now. You know, no one cares about the next man. Everybody wants to talk about it, but when it comes time to be about it, nah, Spence on la tira, not me. No way, Jose. They're not doing that. You know, so that's why this guy, I'm sure, had a lot of contemplating to do. I'm sure he sat back in his cell and said, man, I ain't trying to shit. They're talking about I'm going to be in here for another 28 days before trial. Shit, you know, he was doing one of these. Man, shit. Picked up that phone, called his bitch. He called his lawyer. Next thing you know, the lawyer's over there like, how much you going to pay me to work out this plea? Man, I'll suck, yo. And then that was it. They cheeseburgered it, and he worked this deal, and next thing you know, he's out, going Versace glasses, a fucking fur coat, talking about, I ain't told on no one, cut on pop. Nah, man, you told on someone, sir. To what degree of telling, we don't know yet, but it's all the same thing. Okay? Now, does that make him a despicable, horrible person? It just depends on how you look at it. You know, I know there's a lot of people that walk around, even on YouTube, that sit around and say, I would never tell, I would never do this. Well, they've never been faced with that type of situation. They don't understand what it entails, you know. Just because you think that that's the cool thing to say, you think that's the cool thing to do, you rock with it. You know what I mean? Sabe que you ain't cool, homie. You owe me one. Even Frog told. Lavato said, it was the Crips, right? Fucking Frog, right? He said, hey, why you over there acting like a monkey right there? Hey, Hodges, I owe you one. Well, here's one. It was the Crips, right? It was Racket. He told. You just, throughout history, this is just the way it works. And I totally believe and honestly believe that Gunna did say too much. And I do believe he's going to testify against his homeboy. Now, of course, you got different people that are saying different things. Some are saying, oh, for sure, he ain't told. He would never do that. He's a real one. He's a righteous one. Look, I know a whole bunch of real life killers, hitters, motherfuckers, bro. And they done told like motherfuckers. Hey, man, Pence on the tiro, man. Fuck that, eh? You know what I mean? Like I said, you just don't know. You know, what's it all come down to? Why does everybody want to know? Why is everyone asking this question? So they can call him a snitch? So they can call him some type, you know, some defecate on his character and call him some bad names? Because that's all they're going to do. It's not like they're going to make a move like a thug on him. You know, it's not like they're going to approach him in any form or fashion. Homie, get in line. You need to start with 6ix9ine first. He's over there wobbly, right? He's over there getting his on and letting everyone know and throwing it in their face. Now, I believe his time will come one of these days. He's going to get caught slipping. They're going to slip the clip in and get to tripping. But until then, he's going to defend his shit like Scottie Pippen. We just don't know exactly what's going to happen. But one thing I do know in this world that we live in now, it's become irrelevant if you tell. It's become commonplace. It's accepted in the communities we live in, you know, and that's just the way it is. You know, I myself, look, if I know about the told, I'm not going to go approach him in any form. I'm not going to disrespect him, go approach him. I'm just going to stay away, man. Okay? Not because I think he's a bad guy. I think he's a piece. Nah, none of that. No disrespect. Because fucking, I just don't want to get caught up in anything, man. I don't want to put myself and him in a situation where fucking somebody is forced to tell. And so I just don't want that. I don't need that, man. So I don't need that. Nah, I'm saying. You know, you feel me what I'm saying? Anyways, so the $1 million question that was asked and answered, did Gunna tell? I believe so. I haven't seen no paperwork to say the contrary. I haven't seen no paperwork to say he has. But just knowing the way things work, man, that's just like T.I. getting caught with a whole bunch of guns as an ex-con. I didn't tell, man. They just gave me 19 hours of community service. Well, you and Tiny were both up to no good. Meanwhile, she's over there with Floyd Mayweather's whole fucking boxing glove down her throat. You're over here fucking telling like a motherfucker. We know this and we know that, right? It's like this and like that, like that. And but of course, no one says anything that about this. The rubber band man. You can have whatever you like. That's what he told the feds. They were like, hey, who did it? He said, man, my stacks is good. My game is tight. Ask me anything. I'll tell you whatever you like, right? And he did. And I'm sure Gunna followed that pattern, man, because at the end of the day, he knows just like I know, ain't no one going to do nothing about it. Spence on la tira. With that being said, you know, I hope I answered your question. We're going to stay on this, you know, on this case. We're going to trip out. And mark my words, when you see them about to testify and doing all this, everyone's going to be like, yep, the gun was right. Man, I told you, man. It ain't no mystery. He's history based on the simple fact that a punk ass Mark got snatched in the dark and now it's just like that. He's going to tell once, tell twice. I'm going to tell you he's on the run with a stack and a pack and a motherfucking gat and a Tech 22 size gun. I can rap. I'm the thug around this motherfucker. Anyways, with that being said, I hope that you like this. Hope that you move smooth with a purpose. Go out there and get it for your familia. I'm going to get it for mines. And I'm going to keep it respectful while doing it. If you like this, put that thumbs up one time for your mind. If you don't agree and you don't like what I'm saying, man, you can hit that thumbs down. Heavy's going to be the head that wears this Dior crown, whether it be bootleg or not. The Ramate got game. And sales, you already know what it is. This is the gun. Bang, bang. And in that motherfucking fashion. They're about to say, hey, you did it. Can I get some community service? Fuck, what is that? Is that a bangle? Can I get some cream cheese on that? They said, órale, pues.